I recognize the gentleman from South Carolina. Mr. Norman, you are recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, I think I've heard it all. I've heard my good friends, Democrat friends, asking why people feel unsafe. It's because of the dismantling of the police departments that they feel unsafe. I hear my good friends on the other aisle tell manufacturers how to build a gun when I don't think they've ever had any experience building a gun. I think I've heard my friends on the other aisle talking about concern for civilians. What in the world? Where is the concern on the 300 per day use that are dying from fentanyl because it's coming across the border unfettered because of this administration's lack of will to stop an invasion at the border? Where are the hearings about the supply shortage that people can't unload a plane? We put a man on the moon, but we cannot unload a ship. You know, what about the 154 cities that have been torn up with no repercussions from those who did it? I mean, the list goes on and on. And, you know, I keep hearing gun violence, gun violence. I was talking to my good friend, Mr. Clyde, and we both agreed that we've all had a lot of guns. I have, he has. He has far more than me. I've never had a gun get violent with me. Never in my life have I had a gun get violent with me, but I have seen where people use guns for the wrong reasons, just like the Ford that went through the Christmas parade that ran over people. It's by deranged people. It's by mentally unstable people. And it's insane, some of the things that my Democrat colleagues want to do. Make the gun manufacturers liable. You know, it's unbelievable that you'd make the Ford makers of automobiles liable for every wreck, or those who get drunk on Jack Daniels, make them liable. I mean, make the Jack Daniels company liable. It doesn't make sense, but that's just usual with what's going on today in this country, and particularly with this administration. Mr. Smith, President Biden has said that gun manufacturers are completely immune from liability of any kind. Is this a correct statement?
Congressman, I'm curious, you directed that to me, Chris Killoy from Ruger?
Yes, sir, you can take it. Take the question.
Yeah. All right. Yes, sir. You know, we are not immune from prosecution. If we make a defective product, you know, certainly we are subject to normal product liability like everyone else. You know, the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, which is typically what we're talking about here, really codifies existing common law. If you know, and the average time to crime that the ATF has recently reported is over 7 years from when a firearm is first legally sold. On average, if that gun is recovered in a crime and used in a crime, 7 years time to crime. And again, to try to hold a firearms manufacturer liable for that crime or that criminal activity just does not make sense, does not comport with our jurisprudence in this country. And I respectfully would suggest that that's not the right way to approach this problem.
Okay, and I heard my Democrat friends asking about what kind of profit are you making? What kind of, you know, what is your company making as far as dollars earned every year? Has any municipality ever returned the tax dollars that support our public education? Has any of the money that your company pays to support our first responders ever been returned? Has any of the municipalities returned the money that goes for law enforcement?
No, Congressman, it is not.
So they take your tax money, yet we've got my Democrat colleagues who are basically trying to say that you're making obscene profits. You compete with other gun companies, don't you? You don't have a monopoly, do you?
No, sir. We're one of right now about 17,000 federally licensed firearms manufacturers licenses that have been granted.
So that you compete on the open market. It's called capitalism. And it's what so many of my Democrat colleagues, they're professional politicians, but they've never been in the free market. They have never experienced making money or losing money. And for politicians to tell you how to build a gun, I think I've heard it all. But it's the most ludicrous, insane question that I can even think of. But I want to thank you for appearing today. Thank you for answering the questions, and for each of you, We're not going to let we're going to try not to let them strip the Second Amendment. We're going to fight as much as we can to stop that. Thank you so much. I yield back.